Hey everyone, it's Patty. Watch PattiMelt. Hope you're having a great week. Today's date is Tuesday, October 6th, 2015, and this is my week 77 post-op RNY gastric bypass update. I also have a couple of additional things I wanted to share with you guys, but just to give you the stats on my numbers. I started my journey 2 years ago right now, October of 2013, and at that time I was at my highest weight of 360 pounds. Um, I decided that during that time frame, over the next couple months, to pursue having weight loss surgery, and in pursuit of that started the OptiFast program. I did OptiFast for 16 weeks, and I had my surgery, which was the RNY gastric bypass, on April 15th, 2014, and on that day I weighed 290 pounds. So I lost 70 pounds leading up to my surgery. Fast forward a year and a couple of months, and I hit my goal weight of 180 pounds on July 13th of 2015. So this year, just a couple months ago. So just enjoying being in the maintenance range now. My range is about 170 to 180. I today weigh 177 pounds, which is up a little bit, but I notice month to month there's a couple weeks where my weight does go up and it fluctuates up, and then it'll come back down. It's just a matter of if I'm not doing the thing, then I would be worried about it. But since this is a consistent thing that happens every month, and it's also if I weren't following my plan, then I'd be concerned. I'm not. Again, it happens all the time. So anyways, a couple of kind of exciting things have occurred, or one's exciting from a kind of almost an oxymoron perspective, and another one was a learning development opportunity that I wanted to share with everyone. So, gosh, it seems like the lighting is always off in here. Let me turn the light on. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Anyways, I always do these and I don't look at the little camera thing, so I have no idea what it is. And then later on, I look at it and I go, okay, half my face is missing because there's shadow. So hopefully today it's a little bit better. I'm trying to do it earlier in the day. So, anyways, okay. So back to my oxymoron story. So again, here I am 2 years since my highest weight, and a lot of you may have seen my video last week. If you didn't, or 2 weeks ago, I shared with you that I'd done a photo shoot for a clothing designer who's here. She's based here in Southern California. She styles for people globally though, and her clientele has been a little bit celebrity based for the majority, but she's going more mainstream now. Her name is Marissa Kenson, and she styles some of the people who you may be aware of who are celebrity status would be the soap operas. A lot of the soap operas. She styles for soap opera stars. She's styled for Katy Perry and Daphne Wayans. She styles for the Orange County Housewives. She's been the main stylist for the Orange County Housewives since the inception 10 years ago of that show. So as a matter of fact, she was on the show last night. If you watched the show, and she's going to be on again, I think, in next week's show. So anyways, long story short, I've always loved her clothing, and we are attached through mutual friends. So I became attached kind of that way and through social media, and I had let her know that I liked her dresses and so forth, and that when I got to my goal, I would love to wear one of her dresses. So she's a really neat lady, and she was inspired by my stories. She invited me to do a photo shoot because, again, she's trying to engage more of a normie clientele. She's changed her business plan structure altogether. So anyways, long story short, I did that photo shoot a couple weeks ago, which I shared some of those pictures in my last video. And then I came out of church with my husband on Sunday, and I had a text from her. It was a week ago Sunday, actually. And she said, hey, LA Fashion Week is, I'm headlining the LA Fashion Show Week, meaning her. And she said, I want you to walk the runway in the text. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And my husband and I just kind of laughed because to think, that's kind of crazy to think, 2 years ago, to now. Not that she's, having me do this for what my body looks like. That's not it, clearly. But what her thing is, her thing to me, her text to me was, your story is inspiring, and I just really want you to walk the runway. And so, I was like, wow, how funny is that? We both kind of had a little giggle. And then, and I said, yes, I'm going to do it. I mean, it's totally out of my comfort zone. Totally out of my comfort zone. But you know what? What the heck, right? You only live, well, depends on what you believe, you only live once. But whatever. Anyways, that's a whole other Oprah. So, yeah, I'm going to be walking the runway in LA and also the red carpet. Go figure. How crazy is that? It's crazy. So that's October 13th, which is next Tuesday, a week from today. And it's going to be in the evening. And so it will be broadcasted. I don't know how, what, or why, what media sources. I know some of the media outlets that are going to be there. There's a couple of the local Access Hollywood. I don't know if that's even a national show or not, but and a couple of magazines, and I know people are going to be periscoping it and so forth. So once I have more details, I'll put it out there if somebody wants to watch it live. Otherwise, I'll probably attach a little snippet in an upcoming video of me walking the crazy runway. And clearly she does not realize how klutzy I am. But that's okay. I think I can hold it together for one walk. I'm only doing one outfit. I actually got fitted for it this morning. I have the clothes with me. And it should be an experience. So anyways, if you guys could root me on from afar, I would really, really appreciate it. Okay, so the second thing I wanted to share with you guys is something that came full circle for me, or at least semicircle, from a behavioral perspective, and just a growing opportunity. Some of you who may have watched The Naked Truth, I shared a little bit in depth about my experience when I was in 5th grade, was when I became really aware of my body image, and kind of began the cycle of my unhealthy relationship with my body image. And there was this particular instance that occurred that, for whatever reason, we always have those poignant moments in life that we hang on to because they're defining whether it's good or bad. And this is one of those bad moments, or for me was a negative moment, and I've kind of been a little bit more introspective in why I may have held on to this moment as so monumental in the way I was going to feel about my body image, and I think I kind of figured it out, so I was just going to share it with you. So in 5th grade, I had quit skating, and prior to that, I used to skate 3 to 4 hours a day. I could eat whatever I wanted and as much as I wanted. Definitely had an issue not realizing with portion control, because I could eat as much as I wanted leading up to that point. But once I quit, portions obviously became an issue as far as packing on the pounds. Well, part of the reason I quit skating is I just wanted to have a normal kid life, go out and play every day after school with my friends and so forth. And because I skated, I was always at the rink for 3 or 4 hours after school every day. So I did quit. And that summer, just enjoyed everything. Well, towards the end of the summer, before school started, we were all outside playing hide and seek. And this is the neighborhood I grew up in. A lot of kids actually still live there, meaning they've purchased homes on that street and are now raising their families there. So I'm kind of jumping around here, but long story short, 5th grade, we're all outside playing hide and seek, and the street lights come on, which is the signal back then for everyone to go inside. So the parents start coming out to retrieve their kids and so forth. And one of the parents came out and he's like, "Wow, Patty, you're really getting pudgy. You've put on a lot of weight." And it's all these kids around and then a lot of parents around. And it was so embarrassing. I remember just being like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. I'm so embarrassed and ashamed. And, I wanted to cry, but of course I just, anyways, held up an okay face, I think. I don't know. Maybe I did cry. I don't know. But that kind of started a circle of events for me to become a lot more conscious of my body. And I'm definitely not blaming him. It's funny because people don't realize sometimes what they say or whatever. Who knew I would grab onto that? People say stuff to us all the time that's not necessarily nice or hurtful. But I think what I've come to learn out of that situation was it wasn't just what he said, it was the circumstances surrounding and the embarrassment involved. And that's probably why I grabbed onto it. It was because it wasn't just one, it wasn't like it was just a hearing thing or a sight thing, or it was all encompassing with embarrassment and so forth, with so many people being around when he said that. So, and again, I don't blame him. He's just kind of a clueless people, and people don't realize sometimes what they say and in the situations or the actions that they take coupled with what they say can be really, really defining moments for other people. So fast forward to Saturday night. It was his daughter's 50th birthday. And we go there, or I went there, and I met some friends there who I grew up with. And so they haven't seen me. And mind you, this is a great family. I've never held, of course that's always stuck in my mind, but I've never held him in bad regard or their family in bad regard, because they're actually awesome people, and he didn't mean anything bad by it. He just was, probably didn't use the best tact back then. And I'm sure to this day he would have no idea he ever said that. But anyways, so I've done some business deals with them. I've sold houses and stuff to their family members. We've been in touch through the years. They've seen me, at my peak and so forth. So it's been a little while since I've seen them, but we do talk on Facebook. And so when I saw them, he was like, "Oh my gosh, girl," and there's all these people around. "What are you doing?" I go, "Well, I took a saw and I cut half my body off." Just as a joke. Trying to kind of lighten the embarrassment of being so openly out there about my weight loss. And a lot of people who were there, they've known me for years. So he's like, "Wow, you look amazing." He's like, "Girl, did you have that surgery?" And I'm all, "Well, as a matter of fact, I did." And everyone's standing around, and if you guys know my story, not very open with sharing my surgery. So it was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna lie about it. Yeah, I said, yeah, I did have surgery. He's like, "Wow." And I said, yeah. I said, as a matter of fact, I also did Optifast like you did when in the 80s. Okay, so this man is very large. FYI, he's got big time knee issues, and he's probably near his early 70s now. So, anyways, I said I lost, quite a bit of weight before having surgery, and then I had the gastric bypass. He's like, "Oh, the bypass." He's like, "I looked into that, but they won't let me have it." And I said, "Oh, really?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm too old." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said, "I know how hard it is." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Girl, how did you let yourself get so big?" And I'm thinking, okay, clueless. In front of everyone, how'd you let yourself get so big? And I said, the same way, I said, not to throw it back in your lap, but the same way, you and I both have gotten big. It's not something we intentionally wanted to be or do. It's just a matter of how we internalize things and what food became to us. And I'm sure you can understand that. We don't eat because for nourishment and like, a lot of people do. I said, we're all using food to celebrate and do everything. People just have a little bit better control than, people like you and I do. Or they don't use food to make them feel better and comfort them, or they don't. I said, so it just, it's not like we intended this, but we have to look at our true behaviors and also just the psyche that makes us up and decide we're going to deal with it, right? And he said, "Yeah, you're right." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I've struggled my whole life and I use food for everything." And I said, "I get it. I totally get it." So I just share this with you guys because it was like a pivotal moment, and I actually completely adore this man, and he doesn't have bad intentions, and sometimes people do have bad intentions, right? But he doesn't. He just is completely communicatively unaware of himself. So, and had any idea how I would have grabbed onto that moment back in 5th grade? I'm sure it would mortify him because he's a good-hearted person and he didn't mean anything bad by it. But I just share that with you guys because it is another full circle thing, and I really, really want to come from the place that it's the rule of 97.3, that 97% of the time people really don't have bad intentions. And I'm trying to grow through that as I decide to be a little bit more honest and open about my journey. So, meaning, not hiding surgery and so forth. I do believe that this is a huge facet of my success. I mean, it helps me. It's definitely a tool, but it's also it's not every reason for success. And I think if we just continue on the path of developing our minds and really, really surveying everything, I'm just really excited, as weird as this sound, for these 2 experiences in the past week. So, I had a couple people ask me about the whole goal setting thing in relation to, not the whole goal setting thing, but how some of the things that I did to help with getting myself to, during the process of being really honest with myself. This goes back to the Naked Truth segment. Some of the things that I did to put processes in place to be successful. So I want to come to you with a video with that. I also want to do a couple of hauls, clothing hauls, and also do my boobs haul. For any of you who are interested in the fashion show, the clothing line, her name is Marissa Kenson, and I'll actually put a link to I have actually an e-boutique that you can peruse the clothing and stuff from through, and she's got a lot of things that are actually 50% off right now. So I'd love to share some of those things with you guys as well. As a matter of fact, the pants I'm wearing today are Marissa Kenson. I don't know if you can see these. These are they're really cool because they have the leg. I don't know if you can see them, but they have a cutout. Oops. They have a cutout here, so you can see a little leg. Probably not making these look very flattering, but anyways, and then this top, it's not Marissa, but she has one like this. So anyways, and these pants are actually on sale for 50% off right now, and they're a drawstring, very comfortable. Pants are very forgiving. Most of the clothes are really forgiving. So anyways, okay guys, I hope you're having a great week, and it's an honor to be able to share my little 2 insights here with you, and be back soon. All right, bye-bye.